Thanks for joining us on your Sunday evening. I know it's been a little while since I've hosted one of these weekend updates as far as news, but I am back and I'm ready to give you a little bit of a look at some of the things that we are covering here today. Now, we're going to start off with a breaking news update that we first brought you this morning. Now, we now know more details about a deadly crash that happened late last night in Jackson, but we told you about it earlier this morning. So here we go right here. Authorities say a pedestrian was killed by a drunk driver Saturday night in Jackson. The incident happened around 11 p.m. near the intersection of Highway 80 and Bobby Rush Boulevard. Jackson police say a 56-year-old man was struck by a white GMC Envoy as he was attempting to cross the street. Officers say the driver of the vehicle was intoxicated at the time. The victim's body was recovered by the Hinds County coroner. And the name of the victim has not been released, and the officers are attempting to contact his next of kin. The driver was taken into custody and is being charged with aggravated DUI. So again, this is a breaking news update this morning. We had very little details. Thought it was just a crash, but it is a deadly DUI accident. And again, the name of the victim has not been released. Now, I know what it's been a little while since we've seen each other. So it's been a little while since we've done one of these.
Especially in here.
I know we haven't seen each other in a minute, but all of a sudden we see each other and it's ice cold.
It's kind of cold out there.
It was 70 degrees last time we saw us, and now it's freezing.
And honestly, it was almost 70 degrees in some spots several hours ago.
Really?
A few areas saw the temperatures. It doesn't feel like that. But earlier today, that was around 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. lunchtime. That was about the warmest time that we saw during the day. Our high temperatures, 71 in Hattiesburg, 65 here in Jackson. All of that because we saw a cold front pass through the area overnight into the very early hours of the morning. So southernmost counties as well, Pike, and also Woodville community, Macomb, Tylertown, places like that. You were a little warmer. You were close to 70 for this afternoon. But of course, now things are cooling off quite a bit. That's why we eventually have the first alert weather days moving in for your Monday and Tuesday. And for now, like Holly was saying, it's already pretty chilly out there. Temperatures are in the low 50s. Some of us already in the 40s. At Carthage, you're 48, 52 here in Jackson. And those temperatures have been changing so dramatically because we have winds gusting in from the north that after all of this, it goes back to that cold front that we saw passing through overnight. Wind gusts right now around 22 miles per hour near the Jackson area, 24 near Macomb. Those wind gusts continuing overnight as Arctic air continues to drop into the region. This is what we are tracking overnight. That's why we have the first alert weather days, Monday and Tuesday, because of this cold plunge that we are seeing heading into the work week. We're going to be freezing waking up your Monday morning. And then for Tuesday, cold air continuing to settle in across much of the eastern United States. We're pretty much just frozen across the area. And this is how that plays out for the temperatures. 32 degrees waking up.
Ooh.
So yeah, we're already in the 40s by now though. And just imagine, we're going to keep getting colder until sunrise. And the sun just set. We're already in the 40s.
I'm
so
preparing to be bundled up for tomorrow. I mean, you had that big graphic of the entire United States. My family's up in Michigan, and they
yeah.
said, "Look, it's snowing," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"Please keep it that way," and it's very clearly not.
Yeah, some of my meteorology classmates, we go to different places in the country. I've
Right.
seen the people that are just in the north parts of Ohio, some people in parts of the Midwest, they're already posting the snow a couple days ago. Now, we're not getting any of that. We're not getting frozen precipitation. It's actually going to be very, very dry as we see these cold temperatures. So for the skin, I already need to put lotion on just thinking about it. But what we're seeing,
you've already got your sweater. I'm like looking around. Where's mine?
Well, I'm always cold, but at
I
least you
know.
have the sleeves.
I do have-
You know.
I have the sleeves. I'm ready.
You do need that coat tomorrow, though. Even in the afternoon, 3:30 p.m., the peak temperature is going to be around 48. But we're continuing to see that wind. It's going to feel like you're 41 in the afternoon, if not upper 30s for the wind chill. Tuesday is the worst. Although the good news is we're not going to see quite as windy conditions for your Tuesday. So the temperature is going to be right where it feels like. However, it's already going to be in the 20s.
Right.
So you're still going to feel like you're in the 20s. Then for Tuesday afternoon, we're already starting to warm up. Temperatures increasing by the end of the day on your Tuesday, although we're starting off around 26, you'll be around 60 for the afternoon high. So starting to be a little bit more pleasant. And then mid 70s by the end of the week. Your First Alert 7-day forecast shows that this is a very short-lived kind of cold plunge. It'll be winter for about a day and a half. And then after that, fall is back. We'll be even above average for your Friday, back to around 78. So at least it's not going to last for too long.
Okay, now we've got a couple of comments here for people just tuning in. Tune in a little bit late, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go over a couple of their questions. How cold is it going to get tonight? I know
tonight,
people might want to be out getting their bonfires ready, but maybe it might be too cold. What's it going to be tonight?
Tonight, 32. Is the low that we're seeing across, at least in the Jackson area. So as far as frost and freeze potential is concerned, this is what this morning is looking like at the worst.
Or that's Monday. That's tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. Okay. Yeah, that's what I should have said that. Tomorrow morning. The morning that's coming up. Light freeze across pretty much most of the area. Frost, that's pretty much a guarantee across the area. And then hard freeze potentially for northern counties.
Like Atala and Holmes look like they could maybe a little.
But for Tuesday, widespread in the low 20s across the area, or at least mid 20s. Widespread mid to upper 20s, 26, 28. A few spots conceivably a little lower than that. So definitely if you are wondering about tonight, potential for frost or even freezing, yes. So for tonight, we're not going to see a hard freeze for most of the region, but you might even want to have your water dripping overnight for Tuesday.
Okay.
Especially the farther north you are, north of I-20.
Right.
More likely it is that you see a hard freeze.
Okay. And then I know you're saying the low is 32. Like some people are asking about what time.
It's about what time? Yeah. So that would be closer to
kind of midnight?
Around. So we'll reach the 30s by around midnight.
Okay.
So the overnight low usually occurs just before sunrise. So the coldest time will be around 5 to 6 a.m. heading into your Monday. But as far as the hour by hour is concerned, so our freeze warning that we have in effect, it'll start around midnight and go until 9 a.m. tomorrow. So directly timing out when exactly do we expect it to drop to 32? Let me kind of go backwards on the temperature map for a second because I went to the low.
There we go.
Oop.
Oh.
Don't be complicated. It's being a little complicated.
That's okay.
So here we go. This is what we're looking at by midnight. The feels like in the 30s, actual temperature in the 30s after 1 a.m. And then,
my goodness, it just keeps dropping.
Close to 5 to 6 in the 30s for tomorrow. And then the next freeze warning that's going to be in effect for Tuesday is going to start around 8 or 9 p.m. for Monday. And it's going to go until 8 for Tuesday morning.
All right. Thank you again, that was a lot of information, but that's people, pets, plants, and
pipes.
Pipes. I was like, what's the fourth one?
Pipes are mainly an issue for Tuesday.
Okay.
Because for then, we're getting in the 20s, so you can expect to be freezing by around Monday night.
Okay.
And it's going to last close to potentially 6 to 12 hours. So that's where you need to keep that in mind.
I gotcha.
When some of us are going to be down into those 20s.
Okay. Now, again, it's been a minute. So my question of the day for Anae that we all get to
I forgot about these.
That we all get to open up Anae's shell. What is your favorite Thanksgiving meal?
Or like
side
item?
Or something item?
I think the one thing that's special about Thanksgiving is that, you get to put cranberry sauce and everything. Well, it's a weird answer, but I like cranberry sauce. I love it. I like
homemade?
Yes.
Mhm.
I love to make homemade cranberry sauce. And then, you get to put it on the dressing. You can put some like on your turkey and stuff,
Oh,
I love that cranberry
that's
sauce.
the perfect topping.
That's
Forget
my
all
thing.
these other like
Yeah.
ranch and stuff. Get that out of here. Give us
Yeah.
cranberry sauce.
Yeah, that's
Right.
my thing.
Well, there you go. There you learned something about an egg. Give her cranberry sauce. If you send cans to the station, don't do that.
No, I'll make it.
She'll make it herself.
Yeah.
Send bags of cranberries to an egg. All right. Well, we've been talking about a lot about the cold, but the cold did not keep a lot of people away from the National Folk Festival that was here in Jackson for the first year. And Candace Bruce takes us there. Take a listen.
Music could be heard all around downtown Jackson as day 3 of the National Folk Festival began.
Many of you didn't let those colder temperatures keep you from the final day of the National Folk Festival. Day 3 of the festival kicked off with some gospel music from the Campbell Brothers. John Primer and the Real Deal Blues Band hit the stage after the Mississippi native and blues legend was honored with the Mississippi Blues Trail Marker. J. Janice Coleman is a quilter from Mound Bayou who uses her art to showcase history.
I've had a great time here. I've met so many people from all over the world. And so I've talked with them and I've made connections with a lot of them. And I hope that I can continue to do this in the years to come.
Street performances included the Crump Dance 101 and Korean Performing Arts Institute of Chicago. While official numbers haven't been released, thousands were in attendance throughout the entire weekend.
Jackson will be the host city for the National Folk Festival in 2026 and 2027. Reporting in downtown Jackson, Candace Bruce, 3 on your side.
All right, and it's a fall miracle for the Saints. You see how he's happy for once on this show?
Do that. Let's go.
I walked into the newsroom and he was just like not saying anything at first, and then when it was final, got so excited.
Yes, I did.
So, what did the Saints do that made it impossible, Nate?
Yes, the Saints actually won a football game, ladies and gentlemen. They beat the Panthers today 17-7, and what a great game for the Saints, right? Let's get into it. Obviously, last week we got to see the rookie Tyler Shuck get his first start against the Rams, and the Rams, we know how good they are. They are dominating today against the 49ers, one of the best teams in the league. Now you get go against the Panthers, an NFC South opponent that's looked good all year. Looked good recently, specifically coming in this one 5-4, coming off of a big win against the Packers last week. No one was really giving the Saints a shot in this one. The Saints had their best game of the season, and the final is 17-7. I know that's low scoring, but when you looked at this game and what the Saints did, you got to walk away real happy. And the first thing you got to be happy about is that guy behind center, Tyler Shuck. He really impressed me today and impressed a lot of people. Finished 282 passing yards, 2 touchdowns, had over 70% completion percentage. And for me, mainly, he just looked calm. Like, he looked composed. He looked like he was ready. He didn't look like the moment was too big. And those are all things that you like to see in a rookie. And we talked about it throughout the season, right? When you put in a rookie quarterback, when do you do it in the first place? Mm-hmm. When he comes in, what do you want to see? You just want to see that week-to-week growth, and that's what we saw in Tyler Shuck this week specifically, really growing and showing those skills. And man, that ball flies out of his hand, and it's really impressive when he is on. Man, he is fun to watch. So, Saints fans, I know it's not been a great season. I know, but this might be a nice little thing for us, for the Saints fans, when you look at it. Now you might actually have a quarterback of the future. But overall, I mean, the Saints defense really dominated this game. Mm-hmm. It was the best showing for the Saints defense all year, only holding the Panthers to 7 points. They really shut down Bryce Young through the air. That was kind of their game plan. Right. We've seen Rico Dowdle, their running back, go crazy for the Panthers this year. He's had multiple 200 rushing yard games. The Saints said, we're gonna fill the box. We're going to have 7-8 guys in there, and we're going to force you to pass the ball. And that was really the story of the game for the Saints. They got after Bryce Young, got a couple sacks on him as well. They ran the ball well for the Saints. That was one of their best rushing games, even though 122 in the NFL is not great. That's actually pretty good for the Saints after what we've seen over the last few weeks, in that 50 to 60 range, one of the worst run games in the league. So overall, you got to be happy. Tyler Shuck, he was talking about it after the game, how it feels good to get that first one under your belt. He was was talking about how the guys were dapping him up in the locker room and just those good vibes. And, for Kellen Moore getting this one under his belt, his first conference or division win under his belt, that's good. It's a good thing for the Saints and the Saints fans. And now they get ready for this bye coming up. So they get a little bit of an opportunity next week to get healthy and get some guys back. But man, what a game for the Saints. What a game for that guy right there, Tyler Shuck. Getting Chris Olave involved was also really special to see. So we got to see a little bit of what this kid can do, even though he's 26. That's not really a kid. He's a 26-year-old rookie. But point being, Saints get a big win, and I know Victory Monday is going to be real sweet for my Saints fans.
Okay, so they get a bye week next week. Who do they have up after that?
That's a good question.
I'm quizzing our sports guy right now on the spot. I'm so sorry, folks.
No, I should know this on the top of my head. They play and they get right back into a division game against the Falcons after the bye week. Now the Falcons, that was a crazy game in the early slate today. The real early slate out there in Berlin. They played the Colts, went to overtime, and the Colts were able to pull it off. So, the Falcons, I'm not too sure who they play next week, but they're going to want to get back into it, and they're still in the race for the division, right? So with the Tampa Bay Bucks, especially with Bucks losing today against the Patriots. So the division's wide open. Obviously the Saints are not in that picture, but yeah, the Falcons coming up for the Saints. They're what an up and down team the Falcons have been all year. So another opportunity for the Saints to get a win. Anytime you're playing division teams, that's an opportunity. These guys know those teams the most, obviously playing them twice a year every year. So yeah, Saints get a massive win.
All I can think is like, what do the Saints have to look forward to? Probably the upset for the Falcons. That's your big rival.
Mm-hmm.
That's like your big.
Yes,
isn't that like the thing where like it's the claim of the South?
Yeah. Saints.
The claim for Mississippi.
Saints and Falcons fans do not like each other at all. That is a bitter rivalry for sure.
I gotcha. Well, you're already in a good mood, but
yes.
You were sitting over there earlier as I was asking the Thanksgiving question,
yes.
and he was just shaking his head, really thinking about it.
Yes.
What is your favorite Thanksgiving item on the table?
Yeah, it's really nice to go after Renee since I get to hear these questions in advance and kind of really think about it.
Prepped on these.
Yes, I do. So it's tough, right? If we're gonna go like just a main course, what's their favorite thing on the entire plate? I do like ham. I really like a good ham. I'm just a massive fan. But if we're talking sides, my mom, she makes a really good green bean casserole. Very, very good. I also am a big yams fan, sweet potato, anything like that.
Oh, yeah.
Massive fan of that. I saw a sweet potato pie for dessert.
Down in the comments.
Yes,
on
in
Facebook.
the comments. I could not agree any more with that. That is also a great choice. So there's so many options. My grandma makes a great stuffing. So it's like.
You never can pick. I asked you the soup question a couple weeks. You couldn't come up with one. You have to come up like 5.
Yes, I'm.
And you get prepped, and you can't come up. Come on, man.
I know. I can't pinpoint anything. I'm sorry. There's too many good things on Thanksgiving.
I don't know. The sweet potato pie. I've yet to have a sweet potato pie.
Ooh, cooked turnip greens. That's actually another one. That's a good one too.
Those are really good. But mine has to be shout out to my Aunt Phyllis. My mom didn't put marshmallows on like the sweet potato casserole. Oh. We're talking like cinnamon sugar. It's like that thing could be in a cinnamon roll, but it's the sweet potato casserole version. To die for. Actually, it is my favorite. I'm the one going up for seconds. People are judging me, and I'm like, hey, load it up.
Judge me all you want.
I'm happy because I got sweet potato casserole.
Yes,
that might be my favorite.
Peach cobbler, another one. Actually, when you're saying that, I remember my brother. He started making it not too long, about 3 or 4 years ago. Is homemade macaroni and cheese. It's like a 4 or 5 cheese macaroni and cheese, and it's really like
now. I know that's a big tap. Is it gritty at all? Like, are we?
Well, he takes a long time to prep this stuff.
Okay,
it takes a very, very long time. He's in there, and Grandma's talking to him the whole time. He's walking out like, "Oh my goodness, Grandma won't stop talking to me while I'm making this macaroni and cheese." So, that's another great one too. Gosh.
All right. Well, I think we're both working on Thanksgiving, aren't we?
Yeah.
Of course we are.
Yes, we are.
Well, we're working on Thanksgiving. Maybe we'll make all of our sides, and Anae's sitting over there. Maybe she'll be in charge of homemade cranberry sauce. That might be good, but we're not going to put it on either one of our things because that just doesn't make sense. So somebody's going to have to be in charge of the ham.
Yeah. I'll handle the ham since I love ham so much, actually, now that I say that.
All right. Well, that's a look at your local news as well as your weather. Again, First Alert Weather Days tomorrow and Tuesday, so make sure that you're following all the protocols. You've got the weather app downloaded, and of course, a win for the Saints. So you know what? Stay bundled, stay in your home, enjoy the Saints win.
Do that.
You're all set. Thanks for tuning in on your Sunday night. Have a great rest of your evening.